We've been talking a lot about Stellar Blade on the channel recently. There's been a ton of good news to cover, and today we've got even more. The developers recently had their third quarter earnings report, and shareholders asked them when we can expect to see Stellar Blade coming to PC. It's a question that's been on every modder's mind ever since April, and point blank, the company responded, "We're aiming for a release in 2025. Which is a pretty wide release window, but for those of you who've been patiently waiting for confirmation that it's really happening, this is it. They elaborated a bit by saying, given recent trends like Steam's growing presence in the AAA games market and the global success of Myth Wukong, which we're going to talk about in just a minute here, we are expecting the PC version of Stellar Blade to perform even better than the console version. And I fully agree with that statement. The PC and modding communities are about to have a field day with this one. And the mentioning of Steam more or less confirms it will be on that launcher. We can likely expect to see it on Epic Games too. This game remains my favorite release this year, and the PlayStation crowd has absolutely been spoiled with it. I'm glad we get to share it with our fellow men and women of culture on the PC side of things. ShiftUp also mentioned in the Q&A that sales of the game remain steady for PS5, even though the initial surge has obviously calmed down. The Nier Automata collaboration coming out later this month will easily drive more sales of the game, and I think ShiftUp really planned the release date well, considering how close it's going to be to Christmas time. They'll likely enjoy a sales bump during this holiday season. It's going to have a little bit of competition with another highly successful action RPG, as we've also got confirmation of a release date for physical copies of Myth Wukong on PS5. European players and those of us in the United States can get our hands on that physical disc on December 12th, and it appears it might arrive with an upgrade to the deluxe edition. The physical release is being handled by PM Studios, who were the ones to confirm this information on their official Twitter account. They haven't confirmed a physical release for other territories though, and they didn't respond when asked about other regions like Brazil. For now, let's just assume it's only in the US and Europe, but with any luck, more countries will hopefully get it too. With Stellar Blade confirmed for PC next year and Wukong getting that physical copy, it feels like a really good cap to end 2024 on. If you're a PlayStation or PC player, at least. But what about our friends over on the Microsoft side? Stellar is a PS5 exclusive for now, and Wukong is available on both PS5 and PC. Xbox has sadly been left out of this mix for the time being. There's no immediate future for Stellar Blade on Xbox, but we do know that Myth Wukong will eventually swing over to the Microsoft consoles. Back in September, a representative from the company had told Forbes magazine that Wukong will be on Xbox, quoting, "As we have said before, we're excited for the launch of Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S, and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We'd prefer not to comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us. That was a suspicion some players had, that the reason Wukong didn't launch on Xbox was because the consoles couldn't handle running it. Naturally, Microsoft will say of course their machines can run it, and I'd actually be surprised if they couldn't. The game is stunning, and it comes at a pretty hefty size at around 100 gigabytes on PS5, but there's nothing in there that would cause it to not run on Xbox too. I think we can take the rep's words at face value here, that Wukong will be arriving on Xbox in the future, though it's impossible to pinpoint exactly when. As for Stellar Blade, it's all rumor and speculation right now, but back in March there was an interesting controversy surrounding some updated Microsoft guidelines that more or less indicated that Stellar Blade and any other game like it would not be coming to Xbox. These guideline suggestions were for developers, aimed at promoting inclusivity and representation in video games, and it caused a little bit of concern about Microsoft stifling developers' freedom of expression. This screenshot went semi-viral, with the highlighted section saying, "Are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their tasks, and do they have exaggerated body proportions?" If we're taking those last two lines in consideration with Stellar, it does not seem like the game fits the agenda that Microsoft is promoting here. Eve, Taki, Lily, and all the other female characters are absolutely on equal footing with their male counterparts in the game, if not several steps above them. But with the suggestive fashion choices and the feminine body types that they have, it doesn't seem to mesh well with these guidelines. They contradict a lot of what stellarblade stands for, so for now we'll have to assume the game will not make it to Xbox. Kinda sucks that players won't get to enjoy an awesome game just because Microsoft wants to virtue signal like this, but it is what it is. We really need more games like Myth Wukong and stellarblade. The action RPG genre is on fire right now. So many bangers dropping in just the next year alone. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is another waifu Souls game that I'm really looking forward to. That's gonna be a must-buy for me. Where Winds Meet, the first Berserker Kazan, even that Xbox exclusive, South of Midnight, despite it being made by Compulsion Games, which is a Sweet Baby Inc. affiliated developer, this one just looks so cool. I'm not sorry. I love everything I'm seeing about this game, except for the fact that Sweet Baby might be involved. And I'm gonna have a video talking about that one in the next few days here. Because as a man of principle, I am at a crossroads. I don't like supporting radical activist developers, but I do want to support cool and unique games that appeal to me. And I gotta say, South of Midnight is very appealing to my eyes. We'll talk more about that one later though. For now, that's all I've got in this video. If you made it all the way to the end, in a comment below type "Eve is fine," just so I know who's goated. If you enjoyed the coverage today, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on the video. And if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel for more. This has been Star. Keep shining, baby.